I'm going to compare the animated movie Planet 51. Actually, that movie might be live action. To Megamind, one of the animated movies from DreamWorks. One big difference between these two movies that stands out to me immediately is that I just watched Planet 51 for the first time this weekend, just within the last few days. I've seen Megamind more than once. I watched it for the first time quite a good amount of time ago. I really enjoy Megamind. Sure, it's a bit difficult to know who you're supposed to root for, but still, I think Megamind works as a subversive comic book story. And actually, because it's not technically based on a specific comic book, that makes it pretty interesting in my mind. Planet 51 is one of these totally okay, passable movies, but it's not really all that interesting, to be honest. I mean, the story, characters, it's all good enough, but without being great, without being all that memorable, it's not a movie that I really want to rewatch. It's like, okay, yeah, I watched it once, and I don't really want to experience that again because there's nothing that really stands out too much here. I mean, sure, the idea that you have a planet with all these green aliens on it and then this one human arrives. Okay, that's an interesting idea. There's comedy in this movie that works well. I'll say that. The visuals are not bad, but it's not like I have too much to say about this movie, honestly. Whereas with Megamind, I definitely have more to say about this movie. I really like how it starts off intentionally familiar. It starts off with the Superman origin story, where you have both Megamind and this knockoff character, Metro Man, going away from an exploding planet because they were sent away by their parents. Then you see that the big difference is that while this Superman knockoff pretty boy Metro Man ends up in this very nice house with rich people, Megamind also lands on Earth but doesn't end up being raised by rich people. He ends up being in a less ideal situation. We see that Megamind as a child is teased, picked on by the other kids. So we see that Megamind chooses to embrace villainy not because he actually wants to be a bad guy. We can tell that, oh, Megamind wanted to be a hero originally. He wanted to be a good guy, but he felt like the world never gave him an opportunity to be good. They just assumed that he had to be bad. So Megamind chooses to make a similar kind of decision to the one that Nick Wilde made before the events of Zootopia. Megamind chooses to just embrace the stereotype. Well, if everyone thinks I have to be a villain, then I'll be a villain. Similar to how Nick Wilde decided that, well, if everyone's going to just assume that I'm a fox, so I'm shifty and untrustworthy, I'm just going to embrace that. I'm going to be the sly, sneaky, shifty, untrustworthy fox everybody assumes I am. We see in the movie Megamind that you have Metro Man, who's Superman knockoff. Then you have Megamind, who basically becomes a Lex Luthor-esque supervillain. Then you have Roxanne Ritchie, who's basically Lois Lane. Then pretty quickly you see that the movie's totally flipping the script, where where Roxanne is captured by our Lex Luthor-esque villain Megamind, and rather than screaming her head off, as Lois Lane usually does, we see that, oh no, Roxanne is not fazed by any of this. She's captured by Megamind, and he does everything he can to scare her, and she's not having any of it. She's just like, oh yeah, whatever, that's whatever, that's tacky, that's corny. Yeah, I was thinking of that on the way over here. This isn't scary at all. And she's like, oh, okay, you got a spider. That's a nice touch. He didn't plan for that at all. Megamind tries to pretend like this is all part of his plan, and then he gets punched in the face. I think I think that's pretty funny. We see that, oh, Roxanne is not that helpless damsel in distress who screams all the time the way that Lois Lane is. Then we see that, oh, Metro Man is apparently dead. Megamind seemingly killed him. And then we see that because there's no hero anymore to stand in Megamind's way, he can do whatever he wants. So he takes over, he's now in charge of the city, but we see that Megamind is not truly happy. He got everything he always wanted, but he realizes, I'm not really happy if there isn't a hero to stand against me. So he tries to make a new hero, and that backfires horribly because all this power ends up being given to someone who is not all that good of a person, that has flaws. And so everything goes horribly wrong when these Superman-like powers are given to Hal. And then in the end, because Hal turns out to be a horrible villain, Megamind now finds himself in the position of a hero because Hal is so bad. And so the city actually, by the end, it realizes, oh, Megamind's a hero. He's not the villain. I really like that. Okay, sure, the fact that Roxanne and Megamind end up together by the time the movie's over, I'm not crazy about that. I think it would have been better if the filmmakers didn't rush into Roxanne and Megamind are a couple, because honestly, there's a lot of deception involved in the relationship between Roxanne and Megamind. But overall, I definitely enjoy Megamind. So between these two movies, well, easily, no contest for me, I would choose Megamind. I find that to be a lot more interesting, a lot more memorable than Planet 51. That'll wrap things up for now.